Last month in Wisconsin, a driver was pulled over for driving erratically and the deputies arrested the passengers. The driver of the vehicle was a 9-year-old girl whose parents, Jason Roth and Amanda Eggert, handed the keys to when they decided they were too drunk to drive. While in nearby Cleveland, the police were looking for an escapee from the local zoo when a medium-sized and very curious howler monkey broke out and started roaming the suburbs of Minerva Park, Ohio. Maybe someone should call the man in the yellow hat. Now, if you happened to drive down the road to Toledo, Ohio earlier this month, you would have been welcomed with the lowest gas prices on the market, a whopping 17 cents a gallon. A computer glitch at one station set the price to 49 cents, and the other stations in the area kept trying to beat each other to see what the price of stupid really is. You know that The Walking Dead has resumed its current season when the police surround your house? A home in Great Falls, Idaho was surrounded by officers with guns drawn when a neighbor called 911 to report the sound of gunfire and screams, which turned out to be the newest episode of The Walking Dead. Can someone get me the name of their sound system? While my people get on that, let's get back to business. A parade in Belgium caused some major honking from the marching geese. People goggled as a gaggle of geese lined up behind a member of the band to join in the parade at the annual Festival of Ghent. The geese marched and trumpeted along with the other participants. I wonder if they're considered part of the brass or the woodwind section. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, researchers from Florida Atlantic University took aerial footage of thousands of black-tipped sharks swimming off the coast of Palm Beach County in Florida. Considering the number of people in the water, there have been relatively few bites. Given the choice between few and none, I'm gonna go with none. Ankle deep is good enough for me. See you next time.
Robot technology today is off-the-wall amazing and available worldwide. We don't often think of the Roomba as a robot as it has very few functions, but it is in fact in the robotics family and found in many homes across the nation. Another that is becoming a household name is Vigo and other telepresence robots like it. They can attend class for students who stay homesick or allow executives to make an appearance at meetings from afar via their laptops or tablets. Honda's Osimo is currently one of the world's most advanced androids. At just over 4 feet tall, Osimo can do sign language, play soccer, and even serve drinks. It is definitely one of my favorites, and the design is meant to be friendly and inviting. When it comes to cute, it doesn't get any better than Robohon. This little guy is your phone, your alarm, your television, your camera, or just your friend. His level of interaction is seriously awesome. A less interactive though useful feat of mechanics is the Big Dog. This robotic pack mule maneuvers through tough terrain with relative ease, affording the army the ability to lessen the load on human soldiers. And speaking of the military, Huratas is a giant robot that you operate from within. Much like the battlesuits seen in movies like Aliens and Pacific Rim, this technology will change the future of defense on a global scale. The RoboFly is about the height of a quarter and is due to aid with rescue missions and more, once we can make a battery small enough to power it. Don't worry, we aren't only building robots for war. We too soon forget that some of the most advanced in our robot world exist only on Mars. The Mars rover and its counterparts have been communicating with us and exploring the planet independently for years. Some are working on merging advanced robotics with artificial intelligence, like Now, created by Eriko Guizzo. Now combines the ease of mobility and interactive intelligence to a whole new level. Lastly, we have Jules, created by Hanson Robotics. This type of technology will often leave us wondering whether cyborgs will one day be a reality, and more so, if robots will one day rule the world.
Everyone likes to shop, whether going in person or shopping online. Finding the best bang for your buck is key, so here are some tips to help you get a better deal. When shopping online, be sure to register for an account, and then just before you would check out, close the browser window. By abandoning your cart, some sites will then send you an email offering you a discount on one or more of the items in your cart. It sounds weird, but when shopping on eBay, try searching for misspellings. Oftentimes, this causes an item to have no bids, and you may get it for a lower price. When buying a car, the salesperson will often upsell you a fabric protection service for hundreds of dollars. Automotive interior experts confirm that you can get the same level of protection from a $6 can of Scotchgard. It may sound obvious, but one way to save at the supermarket is to just eat what you buy. Americans throw away an estimated $2,000 a year in groceries. When shopping for electronics, never buy the HDMI cable the salesperson recommends. That $20 cable can likely be found online for $5, and the $80 monster cables provide no better picture than the cheaper ones online. Souvenirs can add weight to your luggage and make your return travel more costly. Many hotels have a UPS or FedEx, and shipping them back may save you money. Did your past spending habits land you in court with a collection agency? Ask to have them show you the receipts. Much of the time, they are simply given a spreadsheet with the amount owed. Without proof of actual debt, the case will often be dismissed. You're getting married and trying to plan the big day. When contacting vendors, don't tell them it's for a wedding. Just say you're having a family event. Oftentimes, they will hike the price by up to $1,000 for weddings. And finally, what about the cost of your funeral? By donating your body to science, it will help future generations by improving our knowledge of medicine and biology. And once they are finished, your ashes will be turned to your family free of charge.
If it rains cats and dogs, why doesn't it ever sprinkle puppies and kittens? And if it did, would we flip our umbrellas and catch them? I've seen pigtails and ponytails, but why aren't women sporting chicken tails? And if they did, would we call them hen butts? When you headbutt, you are using your head like a tool. Does that mean when you butt heads, you are thinking with your ass? If having eagle eyes means that you see really well, and being blind as a bat means that you can't see, what does that make the rest of us? Why is rush hour traffic also referred to as congested? If it's congested, shouldn't it be called slow hour? Do all Joes get residuals every time a cup of Joe is used on TV? If donning a mullet means business in the front and party in the back, does that mean you walk into a party backwards? If a cat burglar is called that because he is stealthy, like a cat, does that make a stealth bomber catty? And would you want to meet him? If drinking alcohol makes you a drinker, what are you if you drink water? Lawyers have to pass the bar to become lawyers. So do bartenders have to pass the law to serve alcohol?
Hollywood is no stranger to ridiculously dumb but hilarious films. Though these types of movies are not often blockbuster hits, some of them can be extremely entertaining.
You might remember Dumb and Dumber, which was, as the title states, pretty dumb. However, pairing Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels paid off as this movie did well enough to spawn a prequel and a sequel.
David Spade and the late Chris Farley were also a humorous pair in Black Sheep and Tommy Boy.
Alex Wolff and a worn-down Brendan Fraser were quite funny in their very quirky comedy, Hairbrained.
Speaking of quirky comedies, an oldie but a goodie, Death Becomes Her, featuring Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, was comic genius at its best.
While most of Whoopi Goldberg's movies are funny and thought-provoking, some are just plain fun, like Sister Act, which was a huge success and eventually landed on Broadway.
Saturday Night Live has had a number of skits turned into movies, like Superstar, featuring Molly Shannon and Will Ferrell.
That's one of my favorites. It's so ridiculously silly that it's funny. I also liked, though not as much, Night at the Roxbury,
which also featured Will Ferrell, who is no stranger to mindless comedy.
Indeed, let's name a few: Blades of Glory, Elf, Zoolander,
and Zoolander 2, which we just saw and was the inspiration behind this segment.
This movie pulls from so many fashion and pop icons and the ridiculous internet and press-related banter associated with them.
It literally had us laughing out loud numerous times. Sure, maybe we just needed a good laugh after a long week at work, and maybe you do too. Be sure to check out all the movies that we mentioned here today.
There are so many movies that didn't make it to this list. Let us know which are your favorites.
This is Jason
and Ahmed, signing off.
You know what to do.
Subscribe.